I see that my equivalent length is 0.1 feet. Okay. So pressure drop wise, when I have 100 feet, 1 inch, 100 feet, 2 inch, and 100 feet, 3 inch. Add them together in parallel. This equivalent to have 1 inch pipe, but at very short. Got it? Very short means 0.147 feet. Okay. Pressure drop wise, pipe A become a lot shorter after adding pipe B and pipe C in parallel. Question? No question. Very good. Okay, let's not skip this because we skipped the series one already. Percent flow rate increase in parallel pipe. When we add pipe together, flow rate go up, right? How much more can we have the flow rate provided that we have the same pressure drop? Okay, look at this. Q total is the new flow rate, right? This is the same, PB is the same, E is the same. Pressure drop is P1 minus P2. Okay. And this time we have reference diameter. So after I add every pipe together already, I call that reference diameter at the equivalent length. Okay. Add them together. Compare with just pipe A by itself. So I have dA over LA, and that the exponent. Okay. Q total divided by QA multiplied by 100. The coefficient is the same. They cancel each other. Okay. Pressure is the same. Cancel each other. Temperature, compressibility factor is the same. The part that doesn't cancel is the equivalent length. Okay. So Q total over QA, I get the reference over equivalent length or something. And previously I know my equivalent length is this formula, right? LE over equal to something square something. I just substitute it in. Do some math. I come up with this form. Okay, multiply by 100. So this is Q total over QA. Increased percent is Q total over QA minus QA over QA or minus 1. So that term is gone. Multiplied by 100. Okay. And I can substitute the value in and I will know how much more flow rate increase, for example. Okay. Good? So this means if we are going to have the same pressure drop or the same driving force, how much more gas that we can transfer if we add one more line in parallel? Make sense? I have the existing line, okay, 5 inch. I want more flow rate, but I don't want to, hey, let's stop the production, stop everything, and cut it out, put a new one in, which is bigger. I don't want to do that, right? I don't want to stop everything. Hey, let's stop everything for 1 month and do it. Oh my God, it's going to be a huge problem, right? We have many millions that can be fit per day. Another way is put a new pipe in parallel and then we connect them together, okay, for the part that is a bottleneck. So that will be better. But how much better? Oh, I don't know, I'm not an engineer. And when you read it, I know I'm an engineer and this my calculation is look like this, okay? The answer is blah, 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 blah. You look very cool, okay? Do that. Okay, what about we do it parallel and we do it in series too, okay? So we have the loop section A and B and connect with C, okay? The trick here is calculate the equivalent length of A parallel B first, then add that and that in series. Okay. Try to use the same reference diameter and do it in terms of equivalent length. For example, I have pipe A 1 inch, right? Pipe B 1 inch or 2 inch. Both of them is 100 feet. Okay. What I would do is I will convert pipe B to be 1 inch with equivalent length of longer feet, longer than 100. Okay. Oh, no. I have to use the parallel equation. I use this equation and calculate the equivalent length by adding two pipes together in series. Next to Hamza. Clarence, how are you doing? If I have more than 3 pipes, I have pipe A, pipe B, pipe C, and I happen to have pipe D in parallel. I have 4 lines in parallel. Can you do it? How do you modify this equation? Oh, this equation is not usable. No answer. Can we still use this equation by modifying it a little bit? Yes or no? Yes, 100 point A, okay, done. Like that. We will modify it a little bit by put one more term over there, right? Plus D 8/3 divided by L sub D to the power of 0.5. You can modify it, right? If it's 4 pipes instead of 3 pipes in parallel. Okay. So we use the parallel formula for that, and then this is a parallel formula, okay? And we use a series formula, and I call that LAB. I add them with that. Then I'm done. Okay, this is the formula for series connection. Where's series connection? Series connection. Okay. Series connection is L sub E is the reference something. Okay. So if we have just 2 pipes, and the reference diameter is the same as diameter A, so that we cancel with that. And we don't have pipe C, and that go on the top, right? So equivalent length, total equivalent length will be length of A parallel B plus length of B multiplied by diameter A over diameter D or something, which I have over here. So this equation, it may look quite a lot, but basically we just combine them together parallelly first, and that is that term. And whatever number that is, and then we go back and use the series formula. Everyone can do it? Next, Carlson?
Yeah.
Yes? Can you do it?
Yeah.
Can you do it with panhandle B equation? Whatever we have done now, right now, everything is the formula based on Reynolds equation, but not panhandle equation. Carlson, can you do it with panhandle equation? How do we do that?
Not sure.
Oh, you have to know it for sure. Okay. Cannot say not sure. Look at this. It's not much, okay? When you change from Reynolds to panhandle B, you change from 5.333 to 4.961. And done. Very good, right? Just change that number, and then it change from panhandle, or change from Reynolds to panhandle. 5.3 to 4.9. Oh, but right now we don't have 5.3 or 4.9, it's 8/3 or something. Can you still do that? It's 8/3. Where's 8/3 come from? Where's that 8/3 come from? 8/3 is exponent for the case of Reynolds equation. Okay, that's 8/3. Okay, so that is the exponent for the Reynolds equation. Let's compare Reynolds equation and panhandle equation closely. Reynolds equation 2.667. Is that 8/3? Yes, that is 8/3. 2.667. So when you go from Reynolds to panhandle, you change from 8/3 or 2.667 to 2.53. Done. So this means every formula 8/3 has to be changed to 2.5 something. And then it changed from panhandle to Reynolds. Very easy. If you cannot do it, it's not my fault anymore, okay? Alright, question? No question. Let's do multiphase flow. Okay, multiphase flow. Most of the material in here, I double check it. It is correct. Nevertheless, it is unlicensed. It's not even copyleft, okay? It's unlicensed. Unlicensed is like public domain, okay? Dedicated for the public. But you will use it freely at your own risk, okay? So this means, I don't think any of this is wrong. And in the exam, I think I will grade it correctly. But, okay. We want to talk about multiphase flow. Everyone have been through the multiphase flow lab, right? You did that, okay? You know about slug flow. Okay. So next to Carson, what's your name?
Me?
Yes.
Matthew.
Matthew.
Yeah.
Can you explain me about slug flow?
It's got like big bubbles of gas in it, right? Or whatever about that.
What is the main difference between slug flow and elongated bubble flow? Elongated bubble. Have you seen elongated bubble flow?
Yeah, isn't there less gas in slug flow? No?
Elongated bubble flow look like slug flow. Okay. The main difference is slug flow has aerated liquid body. In the liquid part, in the chunk of liquid, there's a lot of gas inside and it moves very fast. That is slug flow. I think we will review it one more time. Okay. First, we will talk about no slip approach. Okay. Flow pattern calculation and some more calculation. Here's the flow pattern. Stratified flow. Okay. That is stratified flow. And the second one, Matthew.
Yes.
The second one, is that stratified flow or not?
I mean, I'm guessing, yes.
Yes.
You just said it was.
But the top one is also stratified flow.
Yeah.
What is the difference?
One of them is smooth and one of them is...
Very good. Yes, the bottom one is stratified wavy, the top one is stratified smooth. Both of them, they are stratified flow. The next one is elongated bubble flow. And this one is next to you. Where's him?
That's Taylor.
What are you doing?
Okay, Taylor Cooper. This number 4, this flow pattern, what is it, Taylor?
I guess it's the one above.
What?
It's slug.
Slug, okay. It is slug flow, okay? Because I said so, right? It is slug flow. The main difference is there's an aerated liquid part, okay? But elongated bubble flow doesn't have that aerated liquid body. So if I show that picture, you cannot say slug flow. If I show that picture, you have to say slug flow, okay? Both of them, we call that intermittent flow. Intermittent flow. Intermittent flow means both of them. Intermittent flow can be elongated bubble flow, it can be slug flow, both of them they are intermittent flow. Intermittent flow means it come and go intermittently. Okay? Annular flow. We have wavy annular and just annular flow without wave, annular flow with wave. Okay. Annular flow has liquid around the part, gas in the middle. Okay. So this is flow pattern for gas liquid. We have dispersed bubble flow for horizontal flow. Dispersed bubble flow means small bubble inside. We have to flow very high liquid flow rate. In the lab we cannot do that, so I don't show you. We don't have it, but okay, dispersed bubble flow. I don't show you any video because you have seen it in the lab already. Okay, and you still want to see the video? Let's show you something new, not in the video. Okay. That flow pattern is for the case of let me check first. See what I have. Let me show you the right one. Okay. This is a video from the lab in 101. It's for high viscosity oil. And so next, what's your name?
Robert.
Robert. What is that flow pattern that you are looking at? What? Slug flow? Yeah, I think it's slug flow. Elongated bubble flow is a lot slower. So that is slug flow. Okay. What about that? What's your name again? Richard? Not Richard. Yeah, what's your name? Next to Taylor. Robert, I'm sorry. Okay, what is that flow pattern? Robert.
Stratified wave.
Stratified wave because we have a good amount of wave. But look at the top. What is on the top? Robert, right? Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is on the top? Do you see the oil moving too? You see that?
Yeah.
Like a wave of oil. So if some people may say, is this annular flow or something? Annular flow with a thick film? Or is that the stratified flow? What I say is this. Flow pattern for the case of conventional flow pattern, this thing is developed from air-water flow. But that one is for high viscosity flow. We have to define a new flow pattern, just that. Okay? And we have what else? Anything else? So it has a film on the top. So this is downstairs lab. There's a sound for this too. You want to hear it? Yeah. No, nothing. Okay, it's very noisy. This kind of test. All right. You have seen flow pattern in the lab and some video. Vertical flow. We can have bubble flow, slug flow, churn flow, annular flow. So in the vertical flow, people don't quite call it elongated bubble. Or even though sometimes it's elongated bubble, they may just call slug flow, or they may just not differentiate it from each other. Maybe just call intermittent flow. Okay? Because in the slug flow, at the end, it always have some bubble. Okay? Churn flow is like shaking that you see the lab. Okay? Annular flow has gas in the middle. No, this bubble flow and bubble flow, they're not the same. Okay. This bubble flow means bubble moving up faster than the speed of liquid. That's the bubble flow, or some people call bubbly flow. This bubble flow, there's no slip between the phase. Okay, gas bubble travel at the same speed as the liquid next to it. Good. That is this bubble flow. Main thing is this bubble flow doesn't have any slip between the phase. No slip means actual velocity inside of gas and liquid, they travel at the same speed. With slip means gas travel faster and liquid is lag behind. Okay? That is for vertical flow. Okay. Next, Robert is the last person, right? Hamza? What flow pattern do you think we have in the actual well? In the well, it has to be vertical flow, right?
Churn.
What?
Churn flow.
Churn flow. Are you sure?
Yeah.
You don't want to change your answer?
No.
But if we have a very high gas flow rate in a well, what do you think happened for very high gas flow rate?
Annular.
Annular flow. So what if we have low gas flow rate? What do you think happened? Churn flow, slug flow, or something less than annular, right? Actually, all of them, they can coexist in the well. All of them can come all at once, but different locations, and we will talk about it later, but basically it just looks like that. We may have single phase flow at the bottom, nothing, no gas. And we may have bubble flow, gas coming out. And when pressure drop more gas coming out, we may have slug flow. And when gas expand more, we may have churn flow, and eventually we have a lot of gas, it become annular flow. All of them can be in the well all at once. Okay. So if we have something like this, probably we may have some liquid loading. Okay. Okay, let's go back. So it is a trick question to ask you what is the flow pattern in the well, because it can be all of them and it depends on the flow rate. Okay. Let's take a look at oil water. Oil water flow pattern. It can be stratified flow. Okay. Stratified with mixing at the interface. What stay on top? Okay, next is, what's your name in that corner? Taylor? Taylor what? Martin. Okay, thank you, sir. What is which phase is oil, which phase is water? Gray is oil or water. This gray thing?
Water.
Water. And the white part is? Oil. Okay, just that. Very good. So water stay at the bottom, oil stay on the top. When we flow it slow enough, we have stratified flow. If we flow a little bit faster, we may have stratified with mixing. Or we can have disperse of DO/W is disperse of oil in water and water layer. Okay? Look from the side, look like that. Or we can have disperse of oil in water. Or we can have disperse of water in oil. Or we can have dual dispersion, disperse of water in oil on the top and disperse of oil in water on the bottom. When we say oil in water, this means water is continuous phase and we have some small droplet of oil. Okay? Here's a flow pattern map for the case of water. Most of the flow pattern map expressed in terms of superficial velocity. And this part is superficial velocity of water and superficial velocity of oil. Superficial velocity is superficial. Okay? It's fake velocity. It's not the actual velocity. Superficial velocity is just volumetric flow rate divided by pipe area. Okay. Robert, what do you think is the actual velocity? Superficial velocity formula is like that, but what is the actual velocity? Should it be faster or slower than superficial velocity? Or I should talk more about that. So look at this. Most of the time, QW, which is water flow rate, it doesn't occupy the whole pipe area, right? There's no way that the denominator is AP. Most of the time, it may occupy like maybe half of the pipe. So this means the actual velocity is not AP, but it's just half of AP. Okay. So when the denominator go down, the total value go up, right? So actual velocity will be more than superficial velocity. Okay? Always. So superficial velocity is the velocity of the phase if it occupies the whole cross-section area. And they typically express the flow pattern map in terms of superficial velocity. Flow rate of water divided by cross-section area, flow rate of oil divided by cross-section area. And look at this. Bottom left, when both oil and water is slow, we have stratified flow. Okay. Separate flow, stratified flow. If we flow a little bit faster, we have the pink symbol. Pink square is stratified with mixing it in phase. If we flow water more, we get the yellow thing. Yellow is disperse of oil in water and water phase. Water become a separate phase. Okay. And if we flow water very fast, we have this thing, disperse of oil in water, complete dispersion. Okay. So now you can read the flow pattern map. Very good, right? I give you the map, you can tell, hey, for this operating condition, what is my flow pattern? Can you do that? So you have to calculate superficial gas velocity. Oh, this is for oil and water. For gas and liquid, it's similar thing. And we will show you the map later. So if I tell you actual volumetric flow rate inside the pipe of oil and of water, can you tell the flow pattern? Senior, can you tell that? I give you the chart. I give you flow rate, actual flow rate in the pipe of water and oil and pipe diameter. Can you tell the flow pattern? No? Yes, you have to calculate superficial velocity first. So if your superficial velocity of water equal to 0.1, superficial velocity of oil, this is VSO, equal to 1. So you look at the oil, okay, and you see, hey, it is green, and green is dual dispersion. Dispersion of water in oil, oil in water. You understand this? See now? Okay, easy enough. Okay, next is the concept of slippage. The last group C in the lab, but I didn't explain much for other group, okay? Slippage between gas and liquid occur most of the time, especially stratified flow, okay? Slippage is defined as the difference between the actual velocity. That's my slippage. V slip is V gas minus V liquid. Okay. So when I say we have slip between gas and liquid phase, this means actual velocity of gas and actual velocity of liquid, they are not the same. Okay. When I say no slip, means both of them are the same. Let's go back to take a look at dispersed flow. Dispersed flow, there's no slip. Gas velocity and liquid velocity, they are the same. Okay. Bubble flow, they're not the same. This one, they're the same. Okay. So this is briefly about flow pattern. I think when we know this a little bit more, you may have the question about why do we need to care about all this? Why do we have to bother knowing any of this? Do you know that? Tristan, why do we need to know about multiphase flow? What? Erosional side pipe, what else? Victor, what did I tell you on Friday or on yesterday? Could you please help me? You still remember? It's only him who asked this question, and it's a very good question. So, but I want to know if you still remember. Why do we care about knowing multiphase flow?
Know the amount of gas that we use in the well. Because some of us we're using the gas envelope to restrict the production of gas. So in order to calculate those, to do those pressure difference calculations, we use the flow rate.
You talk about pressure drop calculation. Okay. If we have multiphase flow, how much is the pressure drop? Why do I need to know the pressure drop? So if I know the pressure drop, I can know the pressure, right? When I know the pressure, I can know how much gas coming out of oil, correct? Most of the time, the main concern is not, it can be in the well, but most of the time it's in a subsea pipeline. Subsea pipeline can be 100 miles, 60 miles, 50 miles easily, okay, subsea pipeline. And diameter is big, okay? And when they produce, whatever come out, so we have both gas and liquid. The question now is, what should be the size of the subsea pipeline? Oh, I don't know. I need to know what is the pressure drop. If I use too small pipe, I have too much pressure drop. If I use too big pipe, the pressure drop is small, but I waste my money on using too big pipe, right? So I need to be able to calculate pressure drop accurately. Okay? One approach, if I have two-phase flow of gas and liquid, and I want to calculate pressure drop, I can just say, hey, let's use single-phase oil calculation. But if I ever do that, I overestimate the pressure drop quite a lot. Okay? If I just do single-phase gas, I underestimate pressure drop a lot. Okay? So that's why we have to do multiphase flow. And more about flow pattern is this. Some behavior, we have a new tool like subsea anchor, horizontal well gas anchor, patented by Dr. Watson. Horizontal well gas anchor. We are going to test how does it work with the different pipe inclination angle. But one of the things that matter is flow pattern. Okay? We separate gas from oil first. So, and have you seen severe slugging? We will talk more about severe slugging in the flow assurance part, but It has something to do with flow pattern too. So basically we need to know multiphase flow because we want to know pressure drop. We want to know pressure drop because we want to know the pipe size. Okay. Onshore is not quite much of a problem. Like West Texas, hey, whatever come in, just use that much pipe and go to satellite separator. Separate our gas out and just flow just liquid. Then we have single phase flow, right? And if I happen to select the wrong pipe size, just go and change it. We cannot do the same thing for the subsea pipeline. Hey, I use the wrong pipe size, let's go and change it. Yes, it's going to be the problem, right? So we need to know it very bit more confidence. Okay. Slippage concept. There's a volumetric flow rate of gas remain constant. Okay. Gas flow rate is constant. If we don't have any slip, flow rate constant, so liquid flow and gas flow, nothing happened. Okay? We don't have any slip. Gas travel at the same speed of liquid. But if gas ever move faster, even though at the inlet we put more cross-section area for gas. Okay? But because gas move faster, gas move a lot faster than liquid. So to have the same mass flow rate at every length, okay, to have mass flow rate is kind of like actual volumetric flow rate if the density stay constant, right? So to have constant volumetric flow rate, velocity multiplied by cross-section area is actual volumetric flow rate. So if gas flow fast, it doesn't occupy much space. Okay, gas doesn't occupy much space. Okay, that will be the slip, and we can have the change in the liquid height along the pipe. Okay, so that is some kind of concept. Superficial velocity, we talked about it already. Actual velocity divided by pipe area, and we want to know this so that we can read the chart. Okay, and the chart that you have seen is specific to liquid density and viscosity and the pipe diameter. If it is for other pipe diameter, other viscosity, other density, we have to use other chart or generate another chart. Liquid Holdup. Okay, cold. What is the formula for liquid Holdup? What is the formula for liquid Holdup? Where is it? Are you on the right slide?
I just got on. Sorry.
What is this? Can you read it from the screen? AL over A, and that A is pipe cross-section area, and AL is pipe cross-section area occupied by liquid phase. Okay? You cannot close your eye and study, okay? Just listen to what I'm saying in this lead. Okay. Holdup is cross-section area occupied by liquid phase divided by total area or area of the pipe. Okay? This is actual liquid Holdup. What about no slip liquid Holdup? No slip liquid Holdup, actual liquid Holdup, you may not know it. Okay? But we may be able to calculate no slip liquid Holdup directly. Lambda L is the ratio of flow rate, or ratio of flow rate is the same as ratio of VSL. And this flow rate is actual flow rate in the pipe, not the standard condition. Okay? Actual flow rate in the pipe. So this is no slip liquid Holdup. Most of the time, actual liquid Holdup is more than no slip liquid Holdup. Okay? Because V gas is more than V liquid. Memorize this somehow. Okay? Most of the time, you have the capability of calculating the no slip liquid Holdup right away without doing any calculation. Actual Holdup, you may have to do calculation. Okay? When you get no slip liquid Holdup, most of the time it's a minimum value of the liquid Holdup. The actual liquid Holdup may be more. Okay. Actual velocity is volumetric flow rate divided by actual cross-section area occupied by liquid phase. So that will give me actual VL. Actual VG is gas flow rate divided by surface area occupied by gas, or just the top part. Okay, that is VG. Or if we know liquid Holdup already and we know VSL, this is a conversion between VSL and VL, actual velocity and liquid velocity. For the case of stratified flow, V slip is V gas, actual gas velocity minus actual liquid velocity. Question? It's just a definition. Okay. This slide shows you that there's a long development. We have empirical approach, no slip, no flow pattern consideration. Next, they have slip consideration but no flow pattern consideration. We have slip and flow pattern, and we have mechanistic model. In short, mechanistic model give a lot better than category A, B, and C. Those give some result but not quite accurate. Okay, mechanistic model is very good. So, but in the test, you can do category A easily, right? And you did that for homework. When you assume it well mixed, that is category A. Before you go, I want you to know that no slip, no flow pattern, it worked perfect. For the case of dispersed bubble flow, if you have dispersed bubble flow, use no slip approach, your answer is correct 100%. Okay. Viscosity part and all this we will cover it next time. I have just 4-5 seconds. If you have any questions, please ask me. Okay, thank you for coming.